we can safely say it's our last Facebook Live before Christmas from the United States.
Right. And maybe before New Year's.
Yes.
So that's what we wanted to kind of celebrate with you and talk to you about and wish you happy holidays and happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff, just in case we don't have time to fit it in before.
That's true.
So how have you been doing? How's your week been going?
Where are you watching us from?
Yes, exactly. We're just curious. So we're also doing something a little different. We are, and I don't know if I told you this, I had a little bit of issues like setting it up ahead of time, but if all is going as planned, we're broadcasting on Facebook and on YouTube right now.
Oh,
yeah. So
fancy.
Isn't that fun?
That's fancy.
I know. So what I'm going to have to do after the broadcast is over is go back and see if
it worked.
If it all worked. If you're able to hear us, if you're able to comment and all that kind of good stuff.
But
so
we have to start off
Hi,
on
Sherry.
a good note.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
And we hope you're doing well. We can't wait to see all your names and faces and icons and everything come through and comments and questions. Hi, Chris. Ho, ho. Yeah, I got kind of sparkly.
You did.
For
Look
today's
at your little
show.
Christmas tree.
So I have two little gifts. One is from Jennifer Kirk. This is a Kirk's Folly piece. And one from my husband.
The black diamond.
This black diamond necklace was given to me on Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Years and years and years ago.
I remember.
I still love it. So trying to be festive.
Actually, that was a time I actually asked permission.
Yeah, that's true. It
Because
wasn't a surprise.
I was in Tucson, and it was a year, I think, that you did not go to Tucson.
You're right.
So
You called me.
Yeah, and I was in one of these bead areas, and I saw this just sparkly bead from across the room. Turns out they were diamonds, black diamonds.
Yep.
So I was beating around the bush calling Judy.
Do I ask her?
I want to get you something.
It wasn't inexpensive.
Kind of expensive. But I'm not sure if you'd even like it. Well, just tell me what it is. So it's a black diamond.
I don't think I barked quite like that.
That's what I heard.
Oh, that's what you. Okay.
No, she just said, well.
He said it has something to do with diamonds.
Yeah. And he said, oh, then you don't have to ask.
Yeah. The answer is yes. Thank you, Mary Ann. Yeah, that's why I decided to tell you all about it, because it's a great backstory, and it's always fun to get out at this time of year. So we wanted to remind you, of course, about our sponsor. Didn't want to not mention, because it's such a great time of year to be able to kind of have something fun and a little treat maybe that you share with everybody. So this is our sponsor, the Corny Kettlers, and with all kinds of different flavors and all kinds of different packages. So you can get a 3-pack, a 5-pack. But anyway, they are just a great company out of Virginia, Forest, Virginia. And if you go to their website, which you'll find now in the comments section, you'll be able to order using the term or word Judy. And you'll get 15% off your order.
Yay.
So very, very cool.
Now, have you determined what your favorites are?
Yeah, I'm still a real fan of that was the link that I was showing you. That's actually in the comments. But it's still the sweet jalapeno, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you?
I like the sweet jalapeno when I offset it with the caramel corn.
Okay, that's true.
But on its own, I still love the white cheddar, and I love the kettle corn.
Yeah, the kettle corn is also very good. And I know maybe I'll get you for Christmas the cookies and cream.
I'd like that. And I'm curious about the kettle cake also.
Yeah, the kettle cake, all that good sweet stuff. But anyway, we always talk about binge watching and breaking out the kettle corn popcorn when we do. So it's just so easy, it's not messy at all.
We should have ordered
no cleanup.
Those sweet ones for our trip.
Oh, I know.
We'll never get in time now.
I know. So, yeah, yummy. Nancy, you said something back earlier in the comments, Nancy, so I want to put it up on the screen. He ID'd snowboarding with me. He helped me out with gymnastics in Würzburg. Würzburg is one of the places, one of 3 that I went to high school, and it's in Germany when my dad was stationed over there. So nice to see your name and face, Nancy. I'm glad you got through. Oh, and Glenna. Talking about she got Corny another Kettlers. 5 bags of the Corny Kettlers popcorn. That's great. Okay. Shared the white cheddar with LaDon. Very good. So you got 5 bags. So did you buy all 5 the same flavors now because your favorite is the white cheddar? Because that is my second favorite.
Oh yeah.
Since we haven't
I love
tried
it.
them all yet, we haven't tried the blue
That's
raspberry.
a good staple flavor.
Yeah,
Really
it's
is.
it's very,
Where
very
did we
good.
hear from LaDon? That was the one you were on with Michelle?
Yes, both Glenna and LaDon weighed in, no pun intended, because it was all about fitness and staying in shape over the holidays and beyond. And actually, that's cute that you're mentioning that, because I guess the show was so successful that Michelle said, would you be our guest again 2 days before New Year's? Because I think everybody's going to be, well, a lot of people, start that New Year's resolution of wanting to take better care of themselves and stay in better shape and cook better, eat better, start a workout program and try to stick with it. And it's tough to do in these days where you really feel isolated in your own home. You can't get out to the gym. You can't, do the things that you normally would do. So I'm trying to show ways that you can get in shape at home. And I don't know if I should do this.
What?
Well, it's premature,
Uh-oh.
but I had a package arrive this week.
Oh, yes. And I haven't even opened it yet.
And we have to open it and actually see
it.
how we put it together, because there's a very exciting opportunity that I have coming up in January. And so when the piece of equipment arrived, I thought, oh, it's real, it's happening. I'm going to be bringing a fitness line to HSN next year, 2021.
I like it.
Yeah. And you know what? The whole idea of all of this is, again, encouraging you to take good care of yourself. Even if you don't get out as much as you did, you're not wearing all the same clothes that you did before, it's probably an even better time to say, okay, I'm going to start because I have the time. I'm at home, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, one exercise, and something that I can do in my living room or in my bedroom, and I don't need a lot of space to do
I
it.
like it.
So that's kind of a big announcement. I said, should I tell him now?
And you know what else? I want to remind everybody who are doing the workouts that you do, we'd still love to see those pictures.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's really gratifying to see.
Yes. Yeah. And then I'll have to have you give me permission if I can show them on our Sunday Funday, like we did with Mariana, because I asked her if it was okay. She's been working out and doing such a great job. And I just thought, it'd be nice to be able to give that satisfaction and that appreciation to those who've been working so hard and maybe need a little bit of that, kick in the butt to get on the stick themselves and start working out. Actually, though, this week's video is not about working out. It's back food. To eating. Yeah. And, it's kind of funny because I was really hoping there were a couple of you who sent in some great holiday recipes. And this one was from Sally, a holiday cranberry, speaking of sweet jalapeno popcorn. She sent in a recipe for the holiday cranberry and jalapeno dip. And Linda sent in, ironically, a recipe for holiday cranberry orange relish. And I just thought that was so ironic because obviously these are recipes that these women love to make every year, and it's become a tradition for them. And unfortunately, we didn't get around to making either one.
It's been a busy couple of weeks. It really has.
It really has. It's been such a busy couple of weeks. So we just thought, maybe we'll just do something that we know, that we love, that we turn to, that's really, really easy. Another one of those really easy recipes. And hopefully you'll enjoy this one.
And this happens on Monday?
Yes. Happens Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And in fact, since you may be watching on YouTube right now on my channel, you know exactly where it's going to go because that's where it uploads at 9 a.m.
Are we promoting it?
Yes.
Let's see it.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So you can be generous. And believe me, it is just as good with the panko for those who are gluten-free. All right. Yes. Very good. Now just take that melted butter and drizzle it over the top, kind of as evenly as you can, so that the whole recipe gets it.
Pay no attention to the crinkling behind you.
I thought maybe you were snacking back there.
Now our food savers.
Wonderful.
In it goes.
All righty. So that's basically it. That is your recipe. We're going to put it in an oven at 425 for 20 to 22 minutes. And then we're going to do our magic trick of pulling the tin foil, aluminum foil. I never remember which is the right way to say it. Both are correct, I think. We're going to cover it with aluminum foil, then we'll take it off and we'll broil it for the last 2 to 3 minutes just to give it that nice browning on the top.
I like your little, what's it called, a Bitmoji?
Yeah, I think it is a Bitmoji. Yeah.
You should have put a tinfoil hat.
I know. So that I can keep the aliens away.
Well, that's fun. We do enjoy the cooking videos. Where did you go?
I had to change the fan setting. Sorry about that. So anyway, that is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have this available, I want to show you also, just so you can find it tomorrow, that this is where you would go on YouTube to the channel. And then tomorrow morning, that's going to be the Swiss cheese chicken recipe in the kitchen with Paul and Judy.
Yep,
Thank you, LaDon.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling, knowing how good you are at cooking, that you probably already have a version of this yourself. So you could probably go on and comment about some of the changes that you've made or how you've done it a little bit differently or some of the different ingredients that you might have added. But anyway, I think that'll be fun.
I have a spectacular idea.
Okay.
I mean, that's a little self-aggrandizing, isn't it? Saying that I have a spectacular idea.
No, that's what you do when you're in class. I know.
We're about to be taking a trip out of the USA. And perhaps it would be fun in the area where we're going to be, find a local dish that they do.
And learn how to make it.
And then make that for these guys.
That would be really, really fun.
Means I'm going to have to work on our vacation.
Yeah. Jot down a few ingredients.
Let's work, nonetheless. As for me, I don't have a traditional promo to show everybody today.
Okay.
I will mention that our latest video on Paul DC Gemstones, which is the Color Gemstone Academy, it's about emeralds. And I wanted to tell everybody, it's one of the longer lessons, not because of the emeralds, but there were 2 spectacular questions that came my way that were so important. I covered them, and it took the whole first 10 minutes of the lesson. One is on the Zachary method of turquoise, of stabilizing turquoise. And I could do a whole week of lessons on just that because it's so complicated, but I wanted to simplify it for you. And then another question was about how to determine whether your turquoise has been dyed. So I'd highly recommend that you tune in, and then you'll see the lesson on emeralds. We talk a lot about the difference between Colombian and Zambian emeralds, things like that.
Yes. And I wanted to put up, as you can see on the screen now, Paul's YouTube channel. And look at you with 625 subscribers.
Let's get up to 700, guys. By Christmas, is that too much? That's probably too much to ask.
No, maybe not.
700. All right, let's get to 700 by Christmas.
700. Yeah, think big. And guess what? I'm actually at almost 1,350 subscribers. So
awesome.
I think I need one more person to subscribe to get it up to that. I know, just maybe. It just might be you. Might be somebody who's on YouTube watching this broadcast right now that we're doing on YouTube and Facebook for the first time together, simulcasting.
If it's working.
If it's working, yeah. We'll figure that out a little bit later.
And by the way, remember, subscribing doesn't cost anything. I know it says subscribe and maybe think, am I going to get a magazine for the next 10 years? No, it doesn't cost anything. It just means that you're a subscriber.
Yeah.
Sally,
did you see that we put your name up and showed that your recipe had been submitted, but we didn't get around to making it? I don't know when you joined the broadcast, but I just wanted to know we appreciated you sending in the recipe. And you know what? Even though it's probably very much of a holiday tradition for you, that doesn't mean that we can't make it in the new year.
Sure.
Yeah. So we don't have to wait till next Christmas to try those delicious cranberry recipes.
You don't need an occasion for good food.
Especially when both of them would be so good on chicken or pork because of that cranberry orange or cranberry jalapeno flavor. I think they'd be so yummy.
And are you going to have pounds and pounds of leftover turkey that you want to do something
and turkey.
with?
Yeah, there you go. That's true. Did you always do that when in your family where you made the exact same meal at Christmas that you made for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
did too.
didn't do that, switch it up with the ham or anything like that.
Yeah, we didn't either.
Of course, there weren't a lot of leftovers. I
was.
was the 6th of 7 kids, so there was
That's
not a
true.
lot of leftovers.
So everybody just kind of, if you weren't fast, you got left behind.
Well, plus my metabolism was so bizarre as a kid that I could eat. When I was in college, I ate 6 cheesecakes. Not cheesecakes, cheesesteaks.
In one sitting?
In one sitting at lunch.
Oh, okay.
And
congratulations.
that wasn't. No, but I mean,
and then how'd you work it off?
I didn't have to. My metabolism was just constantly going.
Well, you were very active.
I did.
Like
I did a
you
lot
were
of
in
running and
all kinds of sports and stuff like that. So that calories in, calories out.
Deviled egg leftovers. Wow.
Yeah, and turkey salad.
How about that?
Yeah. So everybody has kind of stuff to do with all that leftover.
I'm so hungry, and I know we got the popcorn.
Didn't get it quite right. Yeah.
But and of course, I brushed my teeth right before I came on. Now I'm eating.
Isn't that always the way? You know, you have something that this is a good opportunity. Speaking of, a lot of people are saying, "I love your necklace," and thank you very much for that, Kirk's Folly and Paul Deasy.
Oh, yes.
You want to talk about this?
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Okay.
So, there is a line of my jewelry that's going for a clearance now.
Yeah.
Okay. Judy and I have so many other irons in the fire, but 77%. So all you have to do is go to gemsonvogue.com. You look at my name, Paul Deasy. And I mean, I was looking at some of these prices, like the Sleeping Beauty earrings.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might be like $30.
For Sleeping Beauty earrings.
so there's some Sleeping Beauty in there. There's peridot in there. There's some gold gemstones, silver and gemstones. And it's now through January 3rd, 77% off. Now, some of them, Judy, are one-of-a-kind pieces.
Okay.
So what you can also do, especially in the gold, is ask the customer service when you're ordering it. They could probably make it your size. So even if the ring that's available is not in your size, if it's like one left.
Yeah.
Because they have bench jewelers there. So they could probably do that for you.
Okay. And I've put that link also in the comments. And as you know, after these videos are over, we're doing this live right now, but they stay on the channel. So you can go back through and look at the comments, and then you just click right on the link that you were interested in pursuing or, seeing more of or learning more about.
And make sure you check out the Ethiopian opal in there too. It's amazing.
Yeah. And Glenna had written in and said, just FYI, news bulletin, I just flipped over to YouTube. It's working.
It's working. It's working.
Hi, Bren. Yeah, so thank you for that. I'm so glad to know, because when we broadcast, now I know that this is successful. We can keep doing it. And actually, it's interesting that there are some people who've even said, I'm so glad that you're putting your Sunday Fundays on YouTube. Now they haven't been going on live until now. I've been taking them and transferring them over to YouTube. But people have commented below, I'm so glad you're doing this, because some people aren't Facebook people.
Right.
And as you know, some of you are not YouTube people. So it's nice to be able to sort of satisfy that need for both platforms. That makes it more convenient and more comfortable for you.
So whichever way you want to watch it, you're going to be able to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm very happy to know that. Marianne is going to be checking out your jewelry sale.
You know, it's fun.
I am too.
It's
you and me both. I'll race you.
What I think is very funny about that cross-pollination that we haven't done much between Facebook and YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's always funny that we will hear from somebody that had that knew us from the QVC days.
Yeah. And
had no idea that we were doing this, saying, oh my gosh, I wondered where you were.
Uh-huh.
And it's like after all these years.
Well, we're not really sure how some of these broadcasts and these videos and these shows actually that we do get distributed. How far and wide, you have a certain number, just like you do, of friends on your Facebook page. But when you post something, do they all see it, or does just a percentage of them actually get that notification and come back to you and say, oh, well, I didn't know that, or I didn't see that. So that happens to us all the time, sometimes on the videos that we do, and sometimes even on the live shows where people just sort of stumble on the show.
So the other thing I think newsworthy, I believe it is Tuesday, our friend Thomas Elliott will be coming up into town. Uh-huh. And I'm going to be doing, it's not going to be live, but we're going to be doing a Q&A session.
this week, Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
day after tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So I'll probably set it
And
up out here.
you're actually going to broadcast, or you're going to do a video on it,
Video
right?
on it.
On Paul's Emerald show that he just did and uploaded on yesterday, he talks about Tom
Yes.
and gives you his whole background, and that you're going to be doing a show with him, which would be fascinating for all of you who are gemstone and jewelry lovers.
And I know you have questions, and I don't care how far out those questions are or how you think we may or may not be able to answer it. Tom is the guy. And even if you want to start talking about values of gemstones, he ran a whole company that did appraisals.
Yeah.
So he's one of the few graduate jeweler gemologists
how to do the job
in the world.
Yep.
So I think they don't even offer that as a course in the GIA anymore. They have a jewelry program for bench jewelers. They have a gemologist program, but Tom did one that when they did it all.
Combined it.
He said there was like 3 or 4 people in the world that have that.
Do people know what a bench jeweler is?
Yeah, somebody sits at a bench and works in the jewels.
There you go. If you didn't know that before, don't assume.
That's funny because they do call them bench jewelers, but why?
Exactly.
be a
But see,
chair.
when you're in the business of anything and you just start talking in the language that you're used to, not everybody is following along. We have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I do, but I just want to make sure you are included.
But I have to tell you, we've had more fun, I think, in the last 6 months with both our YouTube channels, because Judy's getting people that are sending in pictures of how they've progressed.
Yes.
Which is really gratifying.
Yeah. Or how often they either do the workouts or what they noticed about any of the recipes. And the comments that are coming in for you are also so gratifying, because we know, it's nice when you're doing this to know that somebody's out there who cares what you're doing and is getting something out of it, as opposed to just, And
I'm feeling almost like I could do a whole separate playlist on just frequently asked questions, because they're coming in every week and I will get to them. I don't always answer them on the YouTube message, but I'm reading some of them at the beginning of each of the videos. And they're great.
Be sure
they're
to watch
great questions,
because you'll see your name come up.
Yeah, they're great questions.
They'll say, Judy asked this, or Mary asked this, or Jane asked this. And so it's fun to be able to cover the
and Tommy, who requested the Emerald lesson, because I made apologies before I started the Emerald portion, saying, I'm very long-winded in this one. This was a very long lesson.
I was surprised.
And he said, the longer, the better.
I know, it was cute.
You answered every one of my questions. So, and I know I have some other questions I have to answer. People asked about, since I talked about chromium and emerald, is that somehow a cousin to the chromium?
Jane was asking that. Yep. Yeah. And she just came through. In fact, she was asking about the logo too. No, that logo in the upper right-hand corner is actually my Joya by Judy Kroll logo. And if you look at it carefully, I know it kind of looks like a butterfly or something, but it's actually JC mirroring each other with just the kind of fun little flowers.
But it could be a butterfly that just broke out of its cocoon.
And those are the crusty edges.
Yes.
Gee, thanks. And another question came through. Dale asked if this was the view from our backyard. And yes, the water that you hear is the little waterfall that's going from a little hot tub into a little sun shelf. So it starts up about 3 or 4 times a day just to keep everything
And as you can
working.
see, the flag is not blowing, so not a lot of breeze today.
No, and some of you have said that you've gotten some major weather or expecting major weather. So I hope that you're ready
Safe
for
and
it.
sound. And speaking of that, last night we had our annual boat parade in Madeira Beach.
Yes.
And what would you say, 64th or something like that?
The degrees?
No, 60. Annual
54th.
54th. Wow.
It was the 54th annual Festival of Lights Illuminated Boat Parade. I mean, it was this title that was forever long. So I think I just put a hashtag boat parade or something.
It wouldn't even fit on a billboard. But it was a lovely night, and we were watching it. We had our little fire pit going.
Yeah.
And there was no breeze.
No.
So great boating day.
Yes. But ironically, it was 64 degrees, which is why when you said 64, I'm like, yep, that's what the temperature was. So it was comfortable. And yesterday all day here in Florida, it was 76 degrees. But all I could think of was, actually, that's pretty perfect weather if you're still doing last minute decorations to the boats, which I'm sure they're doing. And they're just so creative. I don't know if you've seen the video that we did of last year's, but I'll show it to you at the end of the broadcast today, just
It's
in
fun.
case you didn't get to see it.
And be prepared to have that song in your head for like the next 4 hours.
We went to bed singing it last night. We couldn't get it out of our heads because I just had to watch the boat parade one more time. I had a really good time putting together that the video. And because this year's boat parade was just last night, I really didn't have a chance this morning to edit all the boats together, but I have them all on my phone. So it's a challenge because you have to download them and then edit them. And then I put music with it, and it's a whole process, but I really enjoy it.
And we see some of our returning favorites every year, like the pink Cadillac.
The pink Cadillac.
It's always fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people go all out, it's kind of fun. And it's a nice respite from all that 2020 has been.
Oh, goodness, yes. And there were even some changes in last night's boat parade versus the parade before. Some people were actually in it and didn't have as many decorations, but they just wanted to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a few new ones. I don't think there were as many boats that had been in past years, but it's just such a festive event. And many of you commented on the video on Facebook and said you've been in cities where you've seen similar experiences, or there was one happening tonight for your city, or that you missed it because you remember that going to your grandparents' house and seeing boat parades where they lived. So I thought that was kind of neat to be able to read. Some of you are familiar with it. And if you're not in a festive mood, that night definitely makes you feel, yeah. So, and happy Hanukkah for those of you of the Jewish faith who are enjoying this week of celebration.
Kwanzaa.
Yes, Kwanzaa. There's so many for the rest of us.
Yes.
There's so many different celebrations. I think we got to cover them all, and I don't even know them all.
I think that's someone we lost in 2020 was Jerry Stiller.
Oh, really?
I think it was 90 or 95, something like that. But,
wow. And Charlie Pride, we just lost him the other day too. Yeah. Also up there in age, a nice, good, long life. So, yeah, it's true. It's interesting.
We're reflecting.
Yeah, we're reflecting. That's okay, Laura. We're glad to see you join us.
Puppy pads.
Yeah, we're seeing your doggy to use. Oh, we remember those days well. Puppy pads, both for the beginning of the time that you had them, and again for the end of the time.
Our little doggy, how long ago was that?
6 years.
6 years.
6.5.
Sweet little Brie, and she was the royalty of dogs. And when we had her on the boat, she wasn't one that you could train to use the pads and things like that.
Well, because to be honest, I don't know, you said don't pat yourself on the back for having a great idea, but I had trained her so well as a puppy to just know where to go and what to use,
and let
me know when she needed to go out, that no matter what we did, she was going to wait
until we got to land,
until we got to grass, or in some cases snow. I mean, up in Pennsylvania, obviously you had to deal with what you had to deal with, but she needed those smells. Yeah. So we know where you're coming from, Laura. We appreciate those days.
We do go on tangents, don't we?
I know, but that's what's fun about your contribution. Everybody's kind of thinking of different things and doing different things. I'll tell you what, I am actually probably looking a little bit stiff today because I'm having shoulder issues, and when there's a lot going on and you kind of tend to carry your stress all up here, I've had a little difficult time. So I'll turn and talk to Paul, and he'll call my name or say something. I'm like, I gotta turn my whole body.
You should bring this in.
What's that?
It's the
the swirly chair
that swivels. Hey, I know what we can do. One little fun game before the end of the show.
Okay.
Like we'd love to give you an assignment. So we, of course, pending the COVID test, of course, we have to take every time we fly.
Yeah, I was going to ask you when we were going to do that.
Monday.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, Monday.
That's tomorrow. Okay.
But I wondered, because of 72 hours, do we have to wait till 2? Because I think that's when we land.
Oh, really?
I don't know. So we might have to be either really early Tuesday, first thing Tuesday.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll figure it out. But anyway, how about guesses of where we will be?
Yeah,
Since we said we won't be in the United States.
Okay. We'll see what kind of answers come through.
Guesses.
Are you giving a hint?
No, I gave enough of a hint. Said that we land at 2. Of course, you don't know when we're taking off.
No. Are you going to tell them what happened also with
Or a return.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't wanna
probably
get-
happening to a lot of you.
Yeah. It's happened to us before.
Yeah.
When we went to Antigua.
But we haven't been traveling nearly as much. If
No.
you were a person who traveled for business all the time, or just to go see family or grandchildren coming to see you, you know that things have been so different this year. I think that was the other message almost that seemed to be conveyed last night during the parade. Everybody was almost just celebrating.
Can't
Get
wait.
2020 off the books, out of my hair.
Yeah. Even one of our neighbors that we spot them for the boat parades because we watch it from ours, and they're on the water as well.
St. Martin, good guess.
Mm-hmm.
Costa Rica, another good guess.
Mm-hmm.
No and no. Thank you, Brenda. She's another one who's contributed a lot of different recipes.
She didn't want to guess?
Nope.
Or you just shut them down?
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Somewhere warm.
No.
Somewhere, no. She said, I'm sure. And then, here was
Somewhere
another
warm.
one that came through.
Yeah.
Another good guess. Because they know
Oh,
you
I
have
know.
family there.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Good guess, but nope.
She seems to relish in that word.
St. John's, Virgin Islands. Oh, another
Another
good
good one.
guess. We
I'm-
are going somewhere warm, though, so those
Yeah.
are good guesses. Yes, we're not going skiing.
We're
if
leaving
that was gonna
somewhere
be
warm
Somebody else's
To
guess.
go somewhere warm.
Oh, look at you, Miss Exotic.
Paris.
My girlfriend
Yeah.
actually wants us to take a trip with her to Paris.
And you know what?
Someday I'd really
I would
like
really
to do
like
that.
to go to Paris with you.
Yeah.
I've been to Paris once, and I had a wonderful time. I mean,
It's a
I
beautiful city.
was really surprised because you heard all these things about, if you don't speak French and they're very tough on Americans.
Hmm.
I had a wonderful time.
Mexico? Good guess.
Mhm.
Nope. But check this one out.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. You're really warm.
All right, Susan, you win.
Because that's it. In fact, you're hot. Yes, that's where our destination is for the Christmas holiday. So we'll take pictures.
Yes. And we will attempt, if available, to go live at some point.
We
don't
would
know.
really
Yeah.
like to do that,
Yeah.
but as you know, we don't want to drive you crazy with a poor broadcast because of bad quality. We can't take credit for a poor broadcast because of content.
You're in warm, so how about Minnesota? I have to
Took
admit,
many trips to
I've
Minnesota,
done many,
as you
many
know.
times.
Yeah.
And I went there for obviously work. We went there for work, but for a winter vacation, I don't see it. Not in the cards.
If we're going to go somewhere to be in the cold, we're definitely going to make sure there's ski slopes around so
Right.
that we're taking advantage of an activity while we're there. Although there's nothing like a good warm fire and a real cold, snowy day outside.
Yep.
I do miss that. I miss having a fireplace.
Or even the little hot tub out on the slopes. Just make sure you have the robe when you get out.
And that the robe isn't frozen. Thank you. Well, as we said, we really wanted to be able to share today with you just because we don't know if it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks.
That's true.
And if we'll be ringing in 2021 by the time we do our next Sunday
We'll put it
Funday.
this way. If we don't have a good connection, we might video something and then attempt to
true.
download it. But then if we find an Ethernet, I'll bring in one of the cords. I'll bring
Okay.
one of the Ethernet cords. And then
Okay.
We'll see.
I'll bring all my paraphernalia. Yeah. To be able to make sure you can hear us well and and we can plug it in to the right
Yep.
devices. What are we going to do about lights? It might be in the dark. We'll
Or
put
we'll
ourselves
use-
in front of a window.
Or sunlight, yeah. We use
Yeah.
existing
Exactly.
sunlight. We're not
Thank you,
bringing the
Joanne.
lighting kit. I'll tell you that right now.
Thank you, Susan. Thanks to you all. We really, as you know, enjoy you so much.
Yeah, we do.
You're like family.
And we miss you when we aren't able to do it.
It's true.
No crying.
Yeah, it's like, I know. There's no crying in Sunday Fundays. Thank you. You guys are so cute.
Sunday cry day.
Stop.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's sincere.
I know. I know.
Anyway, I didn't bring any tissues, so eat more popcorn. So we will leave you on this note, though, in case you didn't get a chance to see the festivities. This will definitely help to put you in a holiday spirit. And
hopefully we'll see you next Sunday from Belize.
yeah. Merry Christmas. They missed that because I went on mute too fast. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. And bring on 2021.
Were you muting me?
No.